Well, ladies and gentlemen, day one of the NFL draft is in the books. I'm here with my partner, Jason Guido. Jason, um,
Mike, good morning.
good
What's
morning,
going
my
on?
guy. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling
Good,
great.
good.
And I really like this draft pick of Abdul Carter, number three overall, the first round for the Giants. I've
Yep.
seen him play at Penn State. He is a magnificent pass rusher, Jason, and I feel that the Giants' future defensive line is looking very good so far. You have a guy in Abdul Carter to go along with Kavion,
Thibodeau.
to Dallas. I gotta
Burns.
mention I gotta mention every guy here. Hold, give me a minute.
Right, they got
I
Burns.
had Yep, they have Burns. Um, so it's Carter, Kayvon. It's like four guys. I'm forgetting the other two guys, but
Yeah,
it's
and
these
Burns and
four.
yeah.
Yeah, I had the information right here with me. It's just that a lot of things went on the draft that I had to like gather up so much information on.
Right, the Giants got the best defensive player, I can tell you that.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
best edge
they certainly did.
the best edge slash defensive end. He's fast, he's strong. So they got themselves probably a really good player, and the Giants will have one of the better defensive lines, we hope, barring injury in the league. So that'll be a plus going into this next season after last year's disaster of a season.
So I got it. It's Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, and Kavion. Um, that will be out. That will be a
Right,
tremendous line right there.
right,
As long as they stay, if they can stay healthy, we are seeing one of the best defensive fronts in the league in the future.
right. They were
So
good. They were okay last year in spurts. They had injuries to the defensive line, but they were okay. They could have been better, but hopefully Carter puts them over the top.
yeah, and what I like about Carter, man, is that he's so versatile. I mean, this guy, I feel like he's ready. I feel like he's ready,
He's
and I
gonna
hope
play right
he
away.
does
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's very versatile, very explosive. So I'm looking forward to see what he brings to the table. So now that we got, that we got him, one of the things that that made some people scratch their heads, some
Right.
people felt like it was all right, no big deal, was the number 25 pick in the
Right.
draft.
Jackson Dart.
Jackson, yep, from Ole Miss. And when I am, the first thing that came into mind was, you know,
Eli
they did
Manning.
this about Eli Manning 20 years ago,
Yeah.
Ole
Yeah.
Miss, and I got to see both guys play at Ole Miss, and then from there to now New York. Clearly, him
Yes.
and his family, they were happy, they were excited as we saw it on TV.
Oh yeah.
Um, but I gotta mention some things about him for those of you who want to know more about him.
And real quick, yeah. So the Giants
Go
traded
ahead,
up to
go ahead.
the Giants traded up into the first one. They traded with the Texans. They had the 34th pick, and they traded with the Houston Texans to get the 25th pick, and they drafted a quarterback Dot out of Old Miss. And so you know the what the people what the controversy is being, well, at least for me and other people on the radio and news, is that maybe the Giants didn't have to trade up to the 25th pick. They could have waited into the next round, which is today, and took at 34 either Dart, if he was still there, or Sanders, or Milrose, or whoever else. So that was part of the controversy, because they traded the 34th pick, the 99th pick, the Giants, and a future third round pick back to the Texans to get that 25th pick to
Right,
get Dart.
right. Yeah, right. They gave away those three picks. But for those of you who don't know who Dart is, he played 3 years at Ole Miss. After transferring from USC, he
Right.
set the Ole Miss records for passing yards with 10,617 yards. And he is, how can I say, he had 29 touchdowns, six interceptions, and he earned first team All SEC honors. So not bad for a college career. And you know what they say, Jason, that when you play in college for 3, 4 years, by the time you come to pros, you're more prepared because you have that experience there. So a guy
Right.
like Dart, um, will have some pressure because he's playing in a big market city like New
Oh
York.
yeah, sure.
But at the same time, if you're him, you got to feel confident because you got a lot of experience coming out of college and you succeeded in college. So so it'll be an interesting to see him, how things will play out because the Giants do have Russell Wilson. So obviously, if we're gonna have to predict, they're gonna start Russell Wilson. But if they got to a slow start, they're gonna put him there, let him get some reps. That's my just
Exactly.
my prediction. So, and you should. I mean, and he's a good athlete, good athlete. So in college, he did his thing, but again, can he transition that to the NFL? Will he put in the work? Will he have that? Will he be one of those quarterbacks that will get up early in the morning, that he will be in the film room, he will improve in his game? If he has that mindset that the Giants, you know, they got lucky. So
Right.
we have to give him a chance. We got to give him a chance.
Absolutely. And right, and he was picked because he could throw the long ball, as you mentioned, and he had a lot of passing yards in college, and he can also run with the ball. He had look at this, he had 1,500 yards and 12 running touchdowns in Ole Miss to go along with those 10,000 plus yards that you mentioned. And yeah, I think the Giants are gonna do exactly what you saying that Russell Wilson will probably start, and somewhere along the line, Dart will get his chance to play. The Giants have, unfortunately, if you don't know, the toughest schedule in football next year going in. So it's going to be a grind for the Giants just to be a 500 team, in my opinion. But that's what their plan is probably going to be. The Giants have four quarterbacks on the roster now, also.
Yeah. So in round three, they have the number 65 pick. And, like I said, I like the third overall pick, and I like even this pick from Ole Miss because we got to give them a chance. The NFC East, is going to be very tough for the Giants because we have the Eagles who just won it all, so
Yeah.
they'll be back. The
Redskins.
the Washington Redskins. I'm not gonna say Commanders because it's stupid. So Washington Redskins, the Washington Redskins, with Jaden
Right.
Daniels,
That right.
they completely overachieved. The Cowboys, if they stay
Dallas
healthy,
Cowboys.
God knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So if you look at it, there's a high possibility that the
Right.
Giants could finish last. Because it's just these other teams, they're just way better than them right now. So as for number 65 pick,
The
there's a
Giants
couple
could
of
use a
players.
tight end. Again,
Yeah. No, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just going to say the Giants could use a tight end or maybe even an offensive lineman. Um, I can see them getting a defensive back. So they could, I mean, the Giants could go a lot of different ways with the next pick. So let's see. It's probably a matter of what they really think that they need, and they take it from there.
There's a couple of players that are available that the Giants could get. There's Kyle Williams, the wide receiver from Washington State. You
Hmm.
have CJ West from Indiana.
Right.
You have from Minnesota. I can't pronounce his first name. Aaron Aaron Ty
I think that's
Ursary.
it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I know what you're
yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
He's more offensive line guy.
Right.
But yeah, and then you have Miles Frazier from LSU. That's another option that they could get for round three. But again, as we talked about, Jason, when it comes to being a GM working in the front office, you're gonna have some hit or miss.
Yeah. No,
So
of course. Well, the thing with the Giants, as we said, I don't know how much we talked about them since then, but after the year was over, the owner was upset with their GM and coach and gave them sort of like a ultimatum where if you know we don't improve, I'm going to let you both go. That's sort of what he hinted at. So what does that mean? Does that mean you have to make the playoffs? Does that mean you have to have a bigger improvement from last year? So that'll be on what the Giants coaching and front office can come up with in the next season.